Hi everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters. Well, as you can see, we got a whole bunch of new exciting kits that I'm going to share with you guys today. What I thought I would do, since we've got all these new kits in, similar to the video we did last week, we're going to rip open all these kits, show you all the parts inside, take a look at everything. As you can see, there's some exciting ones. There is the brand new Tamiya Yamaha YZF R1M. This kit is brand new, all 100% brand new tooling, and should be out very, very soon. But thank you for Tamiya for getting us an early sample of this to build up. Eventually we'll build this kit up too. And then we also got in from Hobby Boss this new little Delta Force Doom Buggy type vehicle that's kind of interesting to do, especially for dioramas. We also have from Dragon the new M113, Israeli M113. And this one has a bunch of DS parts and stuff on it. We'll open up one of these and take a look inside. And finally, something that I probably won't get a chance to build this right away, but something very, very cool has just come out. And this is the brand new Stuka from Trumpeter in 1/24 scale. Now, you might remember back, it's been a while now, but they came out with an A, but they are finally coming out with a D5, which, you know, in my opinion, this is one of the best ones. This one and the G are my two favorite Stukas. It's you know, later war type ones, or later than compared to the Bs, especially the A's. The A's had that unusual spats over the landing gear that I always thought looked a little unusual. But this is the hot one right now. So we're going to rip one of these open today too and take a look at all the sprues. So as you can see, we got a lot to take a look at now. So let's get started. Okay, the first kit we're going to take a look at is the new Tamiya 112 scale Yamaha YZF R1M. Really, really incredibly cool looking motorcycle they've just come out with. Now, this is a early copy. This is actually a true copy too. It's not a prototype at all. It's one that's actually going to go into production. You can tell because it actually has box art to it. So let's take a look at first all the sprues that go into this. And as you can see, Tamiya has done just an absolute outstanding job. It's always amazed me with some of their technology, the way they make certain parts. It's just incredible looking, and that represents most like the seat and parts like that. Here we have the engine, which is, if it's anything like the Ducati, it'll turn out like a work of art. Just absolutely beautiful, beautiful moldings. And at the end of the video, at the end of this section right here, we'll have a breakdown of each one of the sprues. We'll just kind of quickly go over these. This is the wheel assembly and part of the actual body panels. As you can see right here, those all look really nice. And then, of course, the actual frame of the bike. And this should do really nicely. I'm excited to build this one. After building that Ducati, it's good to take a little break because there's a lot of work in building one of these motorcycles, especially with all the painting, but they come out absolutely wonderful. And then we'll just show you a couple of the other parts. You get the rubber tires, different sizes, of course, of those, front and back. There is inside the kit as well two different types of tubing for like brake lines, things like that. There are some screws. This is how you put the wheels on, and the little tiny screws are usually for attaching the body panel so that you can take them off and show off the engine if you want to. There are a couple of metal transfers for the mirrors right there. Those I left in there. I just don't want to scratch them up if they're in the box. There's also a set of decals, small set, but you've got the nice blue color, which is all metallic, actually, very nice looking. And then a set of masks for painting around all those decals. And finally, there is just some clear parts that we're leaving in the bag. I don't want to scratch those up before it goes. And finally, oh, almost forgot about these parts way over here. There are two other little parts that are in just their own little separate bag here. So we've got the fuel tank and part of the front here of the bike. So some more little super detail parts. I guess they had to mold them separately to get that extreme detail. And Tamiya was also kind enough to get us out the new detail parts kit. And what this is this is the front forks and a few of the other metal parts in anodized metal. So like the front forks here, the spring, all those parts are all metal. They usually do these on their newer motorcycle kits, and I think it really adds a lot of detail. Very excited. Remember, this is a separate kit, so it does not come inside the regular kit, but most hobby stores that carry the motorcycle will be carrying the aftermarket too. In fact, I know I definitely have already had those pre-ordered, and I'm excited to put those on the new bike. Now we're going to take a look at this very massive, and actually, after going through all the parts, very impressive kit. And this is, of course, the 24 scale Junkers J87 D5 Stuka. And like I was saying earlier, this is the later model Stuka. But let's take a look at the huge amount of sprues. To start off with, first and foremost, we have some really large fuselage pieces. They've got a separate nose up here. The inside boards, and you can see, God, this itself is probably about 14 inches long. So just some really big pieces of plastic. Since we're looking at big pieces, we might as well take a look at these are the outer portion of the wings. These are the outer portion, because don't forget it's got the V shape to it of each wing, and that is each one of the wing pieces. Plus we also have all of our drop tanks. Take a look at some of those. And then this is the portion of the wing that, that goes down and out on it. And then some of the supports for like the landing gear. Actually, I'm sorry, that's not landing gear. And we've got some other pieces here. Looks like it comes with some nice thick bracing to keep the wings nice and steady. Plus lots of other little detail parts. And as we further and further get into this, we'll kind of go quickly through this. This is something that I was kind of excited to see inside, and don't know if it's a complete piece, but this kit has all of the gun parts to do the Stuka G2, which has the two 37mm guns that are slung underneath the wings for tank busting. And here are the actual guns themselves, some of the pods. And then further on into the kit, you'll see, see, we can grab those there. Well, here are the wheels, the landing gear. And here's some more of those parts. Here's the giant nose cone. But right here, we've got the barrels that are slide molded, as well as all the 37mm shells that are all mounted right there. And then, of course, we've got our cockpit. And these are the other parts of the wing. Lots of slide molded parts, including even the machine gun barrels over here. These are all slide molded on this kit. And huge paddles for the propellers. An assortment of all kinds of bombs. And you even build up the engine on this kit. As you can see, this is the engine block here. It looks to be a very nicely detailed kit. So I know in the past, sometimes Trumpeter has made some of their large-scale kits, and they're a little bit more, not primitive, but more basic. And this is not one of those kits. This kit has almost 400 parts in it for the Stuka, which is a lot for an airplane like this. And then finally, there's one really large bomb for the center line. It comes with, I'm not going to take the decals out. The decals are pretty basic, straightforward, more camouflaging, and also comes with a set of photo etch as well. So what I'll do is, I'm not going to take the canopies out. They are completely bubble wrapped and then wrapped inside of another box, and that's just to protect them. But I've seen them on the other kits, and they're absolutely beautiful too, nice and clear. But you can see there's just a massive amount of parts. Now, I don't know if every single part is in this kit right here to do the G2. I was looking over, and it looks like most of them in there, but it could be missing one or two little tiny pieces that that would make it the G2. But it definitely, obviously, can do the the D5 out of it. So now what I'll do is I'll show you all the individual sprues. And from our largest new release, we move on to our smallest new release. And this is a brand new 35th scale Hobby Boss Delta Force FAV. And it's basically a all-terrain dune buggy, basically, that the Special Forces uses. And you can show you some of the side pictures right here. There's about 120 parts inside, photo etch. And we'll just quickly take a look at some of the sprues that are involved in this. This is your lower pan for your chassis of your vehicle. And there is a complete engine in here because it's all exposed as well. And just quickly we'll look at some of the things like your front end here, your roll cage. And then on this one right here we have some of our fenders, some of the floorboard. And then finally you get two of these sprues which have your seats, your triple shocks, your wheels, and the tires are rubber tires, and there's two different sizes. There's a small and a large, depending on the front and the back of the vehicle. There's also some photo etch included, as well as a couple of pieces of clear. So we have our front windshield, and then all of our lights are all done with clear plastic. So this one retails for about $40 in the United States and should build up to a nice little, especially with all the modern day stuff that's been coming out lately. This might be a nice little addition to that. Okay, and the final new release that we're going to look at right now is a new kit from Dragon, and it is their Israeli Defense Force M113 armored personnel carrier from the Yom Kippur War, 1973. Now, this is obviously based on an American M113 that they've done a little bit of conversion for it on it. Now, this kit does have an interior inside of it, as well as a bunch of DS bags and packs and stuff, which we'll show you all in a minute here. To start off with, we're going to first take a look at the tracks, and the tracks are link and link tracks. So you've got the big plastic long pieces as well as the individual little pieces, and then they include these soft rubberized pads that are going to go on the hard rubber plastic, or the hard plastic, I should say. So that'll make it a little bit easier for painting. So you can go ahead and paint that to whatever color you want to paint it, and then this can be the darker rubber pad that would normally be on it. So those are the tracks. The wheels are on this sprue right here, as well as the 50 cal, some of the tools, things like that. And you actually get two sprues, like identical sprues to that. And then this is your main upper hull, as well as part of the interior. So you've got your interior floor and all of the firewalls, things like that inside. And then this sprue over here is your other sprue that is going to make up your whole, basically your outer hull. You've got your sides, your rear, some of the other little parts around in here, like the tow cable, that muffler system that comes out of the side there. And the last little one is the lower hull that has the suspension arms already molded into place here. So, and then like I was telling you, this is the DS packs and bags that they have here. And the DS, if you're not familiar with it, is a soft rubberized plastic. It takes regular glue to glue it to other parts, but it is regular plastic, just been lots of plasticizers in it to soften it up. And finally, Dragon gives you some decals and some really tiny little bit of photo etch right here. And that is that kit. So the kit looks to be fairly simple to put together. There's only 350 parts in the entire kit, so it's something that's probably can be done pretty quickly. I thought there was going to be figures inside this based on the box, but there is not. So there's probably an aftermarket set of figures coming out from Dragon on this. Well, there you go, guys. There's a quick rundown of these 4 great new kits that have just come out, or about to come out in the case of the Yamaha. I want to thank you guys as always for watching, and please stay tuned because we have many more videos coming.